For this video, I am going to talk about the present perfect tense, when to use and how to use it in a sentence. For you to know, stay tuned for this video and let's study together. Before we discuss further about when to use and how to use it in a sentence or the structure of the present perfect tense I have done, let's study this example conversation first. Let's have from a conversation of two people. We have Dave and Jane. Have you traveled a lot, Jane? Yes, I've been to lots of places. Really? Have you ever been to China? Yes, I've been to China twice. What about India? No, I haven't been to India. Now look at the highlighted verbs being used. These are examples of a present perfect tense. So we have traveled, I've been, and the negative I haven't been. Now let's study first the structure of a sentence. In this case, we use the helping verb has and have plus the past participle or for the short term we say PP. All right. What is past participle? Well, in the form of the verb, that is a number three. All right, from the infinitive to past simple to past participle. And there are some verbs that are added into D or ED for the past participle, and that is regular verb. All right, and also there are past participle verbs that are changed into spelling, and some verbs are in the same spelling, and they are called as irregular verb. So, for example, we have from infinitive, past simple to past participle. Okay, we have be, was or were, and been, travel, traveled, traveled. And we have write, wrote, written. And we have eat, ate, eaten. And last we have, had, had. Now, these are the some examples of the verbs, okay, from infinitive to past simple to past participle. All right. For a list of some common verbs for the past participle, irregular verbs, you can see that on my next video, as I'm going to share that a lot of verbs for you. Now let's go back with the main structure of the present perfect tense. So we have subject plus the has and have, the helping verbs, and plus the past participle. Okay. So take note of the use of has, that is for singular subject. When we say singular, that means only one, or we say single. Okay, an example pronoun for that, we have he, she, and it. And for the helping verb have, that is for plural subjects. So when we say plural, that means two or more. So example, we have you, we, they, and the subject I. Now for the I and you, even though they mean of a one person, but they or belong to plural subject, and these two are called as special plural subject. Now, how to organize your sentence correctly? So let's start with the positive structure sentence. So it starts with a subject plus the has or have plus the past participle. Okay, so for example, I have traveled a lot, and for the singular, she has traveled a lot. Now let's have with the negative structure. Subject plus the has or have followed with not plus the pp or past participle. So for example, I have not or I haven't for the short form. So we say I haven't traveled a lot and she hasn't traveled a lot. And for the question sentence structure, has, have plus the subject plus the pp. Okay, so you interchange the position of the helping verb and then the subject. So for example, have you traveled a lot? Has she traveled a lot? Now let's discuss about when to use the present perfect tense. So let's use a timeline for you to understand easily. So we have here from past, now to future. Okay, so when we talk about the period of time that continues until now, that is a present perfect tense. Okay, especially if we talk about life experiences. Okay, so in the example conversation we had about Dave and Jane, that they're talking about the places that Jane has visited in her life. Okay, so let's see in the timeline, for example, it's Jane's life. Okay, and she said, I have been to lots of places. So from the time that she was born until now in her age, okay, that is her experience in her life. And then when you ask about a life experience of that person, then you use the present perfect. So they've asked in a way, have you traveled a lot, Jane? Now let's have another example with the use of this timeline. Okay, so for example, you're watching movie now and you said, what a boring movie. It's the most boring movie I've ever seen. Okay, so in your entire life until now, this is the worst movie. Okay, another example, you're talking with your friends and then one of your friends is asking, do you know this person? And then you said, no, I have never met this person even before. Okay, so that means that in your entire life, you never seen this person. Okay, so now is the first time that you have seen her. In the following examples, too, the speakers are talking about a period that continues until now. So you can also say or use the adverb of time, which is recently, in the last few days, or since, and so far, and then also you can say for, right? So let's say, for example, have you heard from Brian recently? Okay, another good example. I've met a lot of people in the last few days. Right. Another, we say everything is going well. We haven't had any problems so far. Another good example. I'm hungry. I haven't eaten anything since breakfast. Okay, and also, it's nice to see you again. We haven't seen each other for a long time. Also, we say it's the first time something has happened in your life, in your entire life. So let's say this is your first time that you have driven a car. You say, this is the first time I've driven a car. Okay, so this is your first experience driving a car. Okay, another thing. Sarah has lost her passport again. This is the second time this happened. Okay. Bill is calling his girlfriend again, and that's the third time he has called her tonight. So when you say first time, second time, third time, and so on, you use the present perfect tense, okay? Alright, so that's all for this video, and I hope that you learned something. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe my YouTube channel. Thank you so much. God bless.